Hi guys, this is Erika, and in today's video I am answering a question from one of you guys. And by the way, thank you so much for watching my videos, for asking questions, for commenting. I love you guys so much. But yeah, I'm gonna answer one of those questions about negative thoughts. But before we start, I just want to let you know that we are still giving away a free course called How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. All the details are down below. Also, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I would love to help you. I would love to help you manifest all of your desires and give you a plan of action. If you're interested in working with me, all the details are down below, and also my sale is still going if you're interested. But yeah, let's start with this video. And once again, I apologize if Prince starts making noises or moves my tripod because he didn't want to jump into bed. He's being a weirdo. He's hiding under the bed. Right? Yeah, you can see him. Let's see. Sorry. Anyways. Okay. So yeah, once again, thanks for sending questions. I love that. Keep them coming. I have a few, so I promise I'll get to yours. But in this one, this person is asking, I need some help in tackling negative thoughts. Sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's like I am not able to stop it. Even if I tell no when it comes and starts affirming, still it keeps coming in the back end when I'm affirming. Can you please suggest what can be done? Of course. So, well, the first thing that I can tell you is that remember that we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, supposedly, right? Like conscious and not conscious thoughts. So this is my take about this topic of negative thoughts, and I've talked about it before. But what I believe is like there's all thoughts exist right now, right? About many different things, right? Let's say about the subject of money, all type of thoughts exist, right? Good thoughts, negative thoughts, it all exists right now. It's like going to Costco, to a warehouse store in other countries, even they don't have a Costco, right? There's many different things of everything, like different kinds of meats and milks and drinks and cheeses and right, like abundance of everything, right? So it's the same thing with thoughts. All thoughts about every possibility, about everything that you could experience or not exist. So those thoughts are there, right? But it doesn't matter that we have thoughts. And I've talked about it before. So imagine like it's a fruit fly. All you're gonna do is shoo it away, right? So I don't want you guys to be afraid of negative thoughts because they're there. But as long as you're not interacting with it, it doesn't matter, right? So all thoughts are there, but they're not my choice. And I'll give you an example of, for example, let's say that I have this negative thought of my specific person is going to break up with me, right? So I can be like, please, no. Like my person loves me and adores me. He's obsessed with me. He's going to stay with me forever. Like no one will ever leave me, please, right? What am I doing? Dismissing it and saying I don't care, right? That's not true. But I can like have that thought and be like, oh yeah, like he's gonna break up with me because he probably doesn't like me, and he's gonna fall out of love with me, and like he probably doesn't like my this or my that, and like he's always been a cheater, right? So what we're doing here is consciously manifesting, right? So I'm pretty sure that you're not going to do the second choice that I explained, right? So as long as you're doing that, you don't need to be afraid of that, right? So what did I do? I had that negative thought. I was like, oh, please, right? When I do that, oh, please, like, haha, you're funny, right? I'm dismissing it. I'm saying you're nothing, right? Kind of like shooing it away like a fruit fly, right? Like, please go away, right? Remember, you are bigger than your thoughts, right? You are the upper in power, right? So you don't need to be afraid of anything. So as long as you're like, oh, please, no, I know who I am. And I know that my person is obsessed with me and he will never leave me, please, right? As long as you're dismissing it, then you're fine. I've also said in previous videos, you can, and also this is your game, right? This is your life. This is your manifestation. This is your game. It's your rules. You set the rules. If you say like, oh, please, only my positive thoughts manifest. I don't need to be afraid of negative thoughts. They're nothing. right? It's my reality, it's my game. I set the rules, and negative thoughts don't affect me. They never manifest, right? You can set rules like that, or I've talked about it in a previous video. Like you can set a filter, right? Like for example, now let's say that I have that negative thought, my SP is gonna leave me, and I'm like, no, there's a filter between me and my specific person, and whatever negative thought I have, kind of like a coffee filter or a colander, right? So there's a filter between him and I, and whatever negative thought that I have, it goes like it gets caught in the filter. It never manifests. So I don't need to be afraid of it, right? It's like when we were little, we were afraid of the, I don't know, in Mexico, where I'm from, it was the El Coco, like the monster, right? But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, please, like I know it doesn't exist, right? So now that you know about manifesting, about conscious manifesting, that you know who you are, you don't need to be afraid of negative thoughts, because you know you're bigger than that. Negative thoughts don't scare you, right? Because you are the operant power. So another analogy for negative thoughts, let's say, again, I go to the grocery store, like Costco or whatever grocery store, and I'm gonna buy cereal, and I like, I don't know, cinnamon something, right? Cinnamon Crunch, that's my favorite. They have like churro flavor. I don't know if you've tried it. Oh my God. Anyways, we're not talking about food, but let's say that I'm going to the grocery store to buy my Cinnamon Crunch cereal, and I'm allergic to peanut, right? I'm not, but let's say that I'm allergic to peanuts. So I'm gonna go to the store, and I'm only gonna put in my cart my cinnamon cereal, right? The peanut butter ones exist, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna put it in my cart. And let's say that I bring it home because maybe my daughter loves peanut butter flavor cereal. But it doesn't mean, even if it's in my house, if it's in my covers, it doesn't mean that I'm going to put it in my bowl and I'm going to put it in my body, right? So again, negative thoughts, they exist. But as long as now I'm not putting it in my conscious mind and playing with it, it's okay. And even if you do, let's say that you're having a bad day and you're like, oh yeah, he's probably gonna leave me because whatever the reason, it's okay. As long as I'm like, the next day I'm like, heck no. Like, I don't want that, right? All that matters is that you take control. You take like the reins, right? Of your carriage, of your reality. You're saying, no, this is where I'm going. It's kind of like you're setting like a GPS coordinates, right? Like, no, I'm going here. And maybe you took a detour, but now you're back on track. Now you're going to your final destination. Now, before the next, that's why I think it's so important to be consciously aware of your thoughts and consciously selecting a story of what you want. So if I want to have that amazing relationship with my SP, instead of letting that negative thought come to my mind and like he's gonna leave me, I am like, as soon as I wake up, I'm gonna be enjoying my inner story of like, oh my God, I love the relationship that I have with him. He is so in love with me. I've never felt so safe. This is the best relationship that I've ever had. And I'm so irresistible to him. Of course I am. So like, I know that like, he's gonna love me and adore me forever, right? Like I'm actively, and it's just an example, I'm actively already having my inner story, right? So let's say that that negative thought comes to my mind, like, oh no, like what if he leaves you? I'm gonna be like, oh please, what? No, right? So I'm actively thinking of the story that I want to experience. And if that negative thought comes to my mind, I'm just gonna again shoot it away, like, shut up, please. That's not true, right? That's all you have to do. So again, don't be afraid of the negative thoughts. They're there, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna interact with them. I've given the analogy of like if a stranger, a scary person knocks at your door, you're not gonna open the door. You're gonna be like, no. You're gonna leave them outside. You're not gonna open the door and invite them inside your living room and serve them coffee and talk to them, right? You're not gonna do that. That's the same thing you're doing with negative thoughts. Like, oh, please, no. So again, yeah, they're gonna be there, but as long as you're not actively interacting with them, it's fine. And even if you do, you can always like, no, that's not what I want. So, because I've talked about this before too, all the power is in your now moment. As long as you're like, well, maybe yesterday I had a crappy day, but today, that's not what I want. Cancel. I don't need to be afraid of that. That's not what's going to happen, right? This is what's going to happen. I am the one that's deciding what I'm going to experience, and this is what's going to happen, and I don't need to be afraid, right? So maybe some of this question, right, it's involving fear. Also tell yourself, I'm not afraid of anything. If I'm in control of what I experience, if I'm selecting what I want to experience, I don't need to be afraid of any outcome, of any negative outcome, please. I'm not afraid of anything. I am the one that's selecting my reality. So, and let's say even if my worst fear manifests, so what? I can turn it around because I'm the upper power, right? I think by empowering yourself, reminding yourself of who you are, the negative thoughts are going to be scared of you and they're not going to show up at your door, right? You're minimizing them and nothing's going to happen. And again, even if it happens, it's okay. Remember, we are, with conscious manifesting, you're molding your reality, right? And they say that in order to, like, you need to have darkness to know what brightness, light is, right? Meaning negative experiences, we have negative experiences to know what a positive experience is, like what Abraham Hicks calls it, contrast. You need contrast, right? So again, let's say that my boyfriend does break up with me. Okay, I'm not gonna feel good about it, but in that moment there is so much power for me to decide, that's not what I want. This is what I want. I want him to be with me. I want him to commit to me. I want him to stay with me forever because I decide that, because he doesn't have the power to decide that. I do. And that's another thing. Let's say that you have that negative thought, whatever it is, but just my example. No, he doesn't have the choice. I'm the only one that decides. So therefore, no, I decide, I choose that he's going to stay with me forever. So I'm not afraid of anything. He cannot do something I don't want him to do because I decide. And I think it's a lot of like reminding yourself that they don't have free will. They literally don't. That we are just one mind, and whatever you think he's thinking, or she's thinking, or they are thinking, right? Because again, if I'm afraid, like, oh yeah, he's gonna leave me because he can do whatever he wants. In that moment, I'm forgetting that I'm the upper power, that I'm the only one that decides, right? But if I'm like, oh please no, that's not true, because he thinks what I say he's thinking. He can only show up the way that I select that he will show up, because I'm the God of my reality. Because no one can decide for me. No one can show up in my life differently than what I consciously select. And again, it doesn't mean that your 3D or 3D is always going to be perfect, but we experience those negative situations for us to choose differently and for us to remember that we have all the power, because apparently that's what we came here for. We came here forgetting that we are gods of our reality, that we have the power of creation, and by experiencing the contrast, the negative situations in that moment, like we thought, oh, it's gonna be so much fun that when I experience something negative, I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna choose what I want, and it's gonna feel like so much fun. So again, intend to have fun with this reality creation, intend to have fun with this game, and see reality, circumstances as a game. This is just a game. None of this is real, and I intend to have fun with it. So instead of being afraid that my person is gonna leave me, oh please, I'm gonna have so much fun having them extremely in love, committed, and obsessed with me, right? Again, it's a game, and we're supposed to be having fun with it. So don't be afraid of your negative thoughts. And I hope that this video answered your question. I know it's 14 minutes, but let me see. Let me make sure that I answered everything. I need some help in tackling negative thoughts. Sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's like I'm not able to stop it. Again, remember, you don't need to stop it. They're gonna be there. It's like you trying to stop a flowing river with your head. It's impossible. You're not gonna be able to stop it. Just let it go. Let it flow, because it's always gonna be there, right? The negative thoughts are always gonna be there. Just let them flow. Let them float away from you. Even if I tell no when it comes and starts affirming, it still keeps coming in the back end when it's okay. They're there. But it's like, blah, blah, blah. You know those cartoons? I think, what was the cartoon? I think Charlie Brown was one of them, where like when the adults will talk, you can just hear the wah, wah, wah. In Mexico, we had this cartoon called Mafalda. I think it's a cartoon from Argentina. And I think it was similar, like when the adults will speak, it was just wah, wah, wah. So, okay, like the negative thought is back then, like wah, wah. And I'm like, oh, please, like it's because I think the meaning for when the adults will speak was like, oh yeah, whatever, I don't care, right? So that's what you're gonna do with negative thoughts. You have wah, 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 like you're like, I don't care. I'll let you float by. You're not important. So can you please suggest what can be done? That's my suggestion. I think the main thing is reminding yourself that this is a game. I'm having fun with it. I'm not afraid of anything, because again, it's like setting destination in the GPS of your phone or of your vehicle. This is where I'm going. And even if it takes me, because I've been using this app called Waze, and oh my gosh, like sometimes it takes me like places that I'm like, I know that how to get there and I wouldn't have gone that way. Like, why are you taking me there? Or last minute it makes me turn to the left when I was thinking that I was gonna go to the right. Anyways, just an analogy. Even if I go a different route, if I go a different way, like I still know that it's gonna take me to my destination. So it's the same thing with negative thoughts. Okay, well, I might go different directions in my mind, but I know that as long as like I know this is where I'm going, I'm still gonna get what I want. So that will be my suggestion. Once again, thank you so much for leaving questions for me, for watching my videos. I love you guys so much. I intend that I answered your question. Don't be afraid of anything. Don't be afraid of your negative thoughts. Don't be afraid of any circumstances, because they're just a reflection of your mind. And when you change the story, the reflection, the 3D changes. So again, have fun with it. I love you guys so much. Again, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, all the details are down below. And I love you so much. Bye.